Today in this video we will see the comparative study of TS of dicot stem and TS of monocot stem. So first we will move on with the TS of dicot stem. Okay, so the important parts present in TS of dicot stem, that is transverse section of dicot stem, is the first one is the outer layer, which is epidermis. So below epidermis we have cortex. Cortex is made up of three regions. The first one is hypodermis, then the middle green color structure is called as middle cortex, and then we have an inner cortex. So inner to cortex, that is the inner circle, is called as endodermis. Endodermis is nothing but the single layer of cells. Okay, so next we have stele. The parts which are present inner to endodermis is called as stele. Stele includes pericycle. Then a vascular bundle is present. Vascular bundle includes this phloem and xylem, and then a pith is present. So in between these two vascular bundles, in between these two parts, we can see a medullary ray also. So first we will move on with the outermost layer, that is the epidermis. So epidermis, as we have seen, it is the outermost layer. It is made up of parenchyma cells. So already we have seen that parenchyma cells are important for photosynthesis or food storage purpose. Okay, so then we have outer wall. So it is, this parenchyma cell is again surrounded by a cuticle. So this cuticle is nothing but a waxy coating. Now you remember a root and a stem. We have seen that cuticle is absent in root and it is present in stem. Okay, so here in dicot stem we can see a coating of cuticle, and then it is protective in function also. So next we will move on with the next layer, that is the cortex. Okay, so as we have seen, so cortex is made up of three regions: hypodermis, middle cortex, and inner cortex. So the first one is hypodermis. So 3 to 6 layers of collenchyma cells are present here. So these collenchyma cells gives mechanical support, that is, it protects the plants from injury and shock. Okay, so it gives the flexibility so that the plant can bend when there is a wind or some other external injuries, and it will not break. So second one is the middle layer, so middle cortex, which is made up of chlorenchyma cells. It involves in photosynthesis since chloroplast is present here. So inner to that we have an inner cortex. So this inner cortex is made up of parenchyma cells, so which helps in gaseous exchange, and it also stores food material. Since chloroplast is absent, it cannot undergo photosynthesis. Okay, so these are the three layers of cortex. So inner to cortex we have a single layer of endodermis. Okay, so next we will see about the inner endodermis. So there is this endodermis is the innermost layer of cortex. So you can see this structure, and it is made up of single layer of barrel shaped cells. Okay, cells are more or less cylindrical or barrel in shape. So since it contains starch grain, it is also called as starch sheath. Okay, so remember, endodermis has starch grains in them, so we call this endodermis as starch sheath also. Okay, so all those parts inner to endodermis are called as stele. Okay, so you can see this. So inner to endodermis we have stele. So this stele includes a pericycle, vascular bundle, and pith. So first we'll see about the pericycle part. Okay, so this is pericycle. So this pericycle is present between endodermis and vascular bundle. So in this picture you can see this dark red color structure is called as pericycle. So below that, a light red color structure is called as phloem. Okay, so between endodermis and phloem we can see a pericycle. So it is multi-layered, numerous layers are seen. So here parenchyma alternates with sclerenchyma. Okay, so we have already seen this green color structures are parenchyma, and these red color cells are called as sclerenchyma. So parenchyma and sclerenchyma will be alternating with each other. So next we have a vascular bundle. Already we know that vascular bundle includes a phloem and a xylem, and in between these two you can see a structure called as cambium. Okay, cambium is present. Okay, so here vascular bundle is conjoint, that is xylem and phloem lies in the same radius. They do not change the radius. You can see the radius of xylem and phloem, they lie in same radius, so it is conjoint. And next we have we can say that it is collateral, because xylem lies towards the center and phloem towards the periphery or boundary. So this type of arrangement is called as collateral. And then it is endarch, that is the small protoxylem lies towards the center and the large metaxylem towards the periphery. So remember, endarch condition, that is protoxylem is the small xylem and metaxylem is the large xylem. If protoxylem lies towards the center and metaxylem towards the periphery, it is called as endarch condition. Then it is open. Open means cambium is present in between. So remember, so secondary thickening is happening only because of the presence of cambium. So we are learning about a TS of dicot stem. Okay, remember all those dicot plants, that is mango tree and all other trees. Okay, dicot trees are more or less or rose plant or somewhat thick in nature, that is because of the presence of this cambium. Okay, so vascular bundle is arranged as a ring around the pith. You can see these are the vascular bundles. So the center one is pith and the vascular bundles are arranged around the pith like a ring. Okay, the last part of stele is pith. So the large central zone which is made up of parenchyma cell is called as pith. It has intercellular spaces, as we have seen parenchyma cells always have intercellular spaces in between them, that is space between two cells are there. Okay, it stores food material. Okay, so parenchyma is used for storage of food material or photosynthesis. Here the pith is responsible for storing food materials. Okay, so next we'll see about the TS of monocot stem. Okay, so the important parts again here you have epidermis, hypodermis, ground tissue, vascular bundle and pith. Okay, so you can see here, so this layer is called as ground tissue. The outermost layer is epidermis. So since the unicellular hairs, that is root hairs, are absent, you call this as epidermis. Okay, so below epidermis we have a part called as hypodermis. Then we have ground tissues. In the ground tissues we can see vascular bundles scattered here and there. Okay, and then pith is also pith is not differentiated, but it is there. Okay, so next we will see about the epidermis part. Okay, so epidermis is the outermost layer. Again, it is made up of parenchyma cells. It has a thick cuticle also, and multicellular hairs are absent here. In monocot you cannot see any multicellular hairs, whereas in dicot you can see them. Okay, stomata are also very less in number. Okay, so next we will see about the hypodermis part. So sclerenchyma will be interrupted by chlorenchyma, that is this green color structure is chlorenchyma, and then we have sclerenchyma. So chlorenchyma and sclerenchyma will be alternating, whereas sclerenchyma provides mechanical support, that is it will protect the plant, gives it strength and stability to withstand everything, external pressures, whereas this chlorenchyma will help them in photosynthesis. So as we have seen, all those parts inner to them, okay, it is called as ground tissue. It is not differentiated. So entire mass of parenchyma cells next to hypodermis is called as ground tissue. It extends till the center and it is not differentiated into like endodermis, cortex, pericycle and pith. You can see the vascular bundles alone scattered in the ground tissue. So next we will see about the vascular bundle. So the vascular bundle is skull shaped. Okay, so it resembles a skull. It is scattered in the ground tissues. Again, it is conjoint, as we have seen there. So the vascular bundle is conjoint since xylem and phloem lies in same radius. So these yellow color structures are xylem, and above xylem you can see phloem, and it is collateral, that is xylem towards center and phloem towards the periphery. Then it is again endarch, that is the small xylem, that is protoxylem towards center and the large metaxylem towards the periphery. So each vascular bundle is surrounded by a layer of sclerenchyma cells. Okay, so this layer is called as bundle sheath. You call this layer as bundle sheath. So now we'll move on with the xylem part. Xylem is arranged in Y shape or V shape. You can call this shape. You can see this yellow color structure. It is either V or Y shaped structure. So in a mature vascular bundle, the lowermost protoxylem will be disintegrating and it forms a protoxylem lacunae. Okay, so remember this word protoxylem lacuna, which you have to learn for your 1 mark. So that is, in mature vascular bundle alone, the protoxylem has stopped its function. Okay, so this part, white color structure. Okay, so it has stopped its function. So they are stretched and torn. So this is called as, this forms a cavity like structure, and this cavity is called as protoxylem lacuna. So no function for that. Okay, so next we can see about the xylem. It consists of sieve tube elements and companion cells. Okay, sieve plates and companion cells can be seen, whereas phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers are absent here. So pith is not differentiated. So as we have seen, the entire mass is called as ground tissue, and so pith is not differentiated. Okay. So hope you must have understood this. Now we will see about the tabular column which is present in this lesson. Okay, so that is the difference between dicot and monocot stem. So although it is not your book back question, so if you are aiming for centum, learn this also. So first one is hypodermis. So in dicot, hypodermis is made up of collenchyma cells, whereas in monocot it is made up of sclerenchyma cells. So already we have seen collenchyma is for regeneration, whereas sclerenchyma is for support and protection. Okay, so this ground tissue is differentiated into cortex, endodermis, pericycle in pith, whereas ground tissue is not differentiated, okay, in monocot stem. So as far as vascular bundles are concerned, so in dicot stem it is very less in number, whereas in monocot you must have seen numerous vascular bundles scattered here and there. Okay, so in dicot the vascular bundles are uniform, unique in size, whereas in monocot it is smaller near the periphery and bigger in the center. So vascular bundles are arranged in a ring in the dicot stem, whereas it is scattered here and there in the monocot. So dicot stem, since cambium is present, the vascular bundle is considered to be open. Since cambium is absent, that is secondary thickening is not seen in monocot, so it is closed. So bundle sheath is absent, whereas bundle sheath is present. Already we have seen that around that vascular bundle, a layer of bundle sheath is present in monocot stem. So as far as secondary growth is concerned, it is present in dicot and it is mostly absent in monocot. Okay, so pith is present and pith is absent in monocot, whereas medullary rays are present, that is in between those xylem and phloem. So in between each vascular bundle you have seen few layers of parenchyma cells, that is called as medullary rays, as I have mentioned first. So medullary rays are present in dicot and it is absent in monocot. Okay, so hope you must have understood this. So thank you. Have a nice day.